Ashutosh, where are you right now? What have you witnessed today?
Well, Preeti, I'm at Temple Tree, which is supposed to be the official residence of the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, which is, under the captivity of these protesters from 9th of July, the day it all began. And when suddenly, all the top institutions, because these are not just heritage structures of the building, these are the premier institutions of this country, which is now captured by totally, these protesters who continue to camp inside. What we are hearing from our sources, since this meeting was called by the speaker at 5 p.m., the opposition parties have refused to accept Ranil Wickremesinghe as the acting president. And in the meanwhile, the opposition parties have asked speaker to intervene, and instead of waiting till 19th July, call session immediately as soon as possible, even if tomorrow, and begin the nomination process. Remember, the uncertainty is also growing because the people also annoyed and angry over Ranil Wickremesinghe taking over as an acting president, and perhaps since they have been demanding share should be nothing related to Rajapaksa government as of now in the power, better speaker should be given the charge in that course. Following the sporty schedule of the Constitution of Sri Lanka, the Prime Minister taking charge and acting president. But clearly now the political crisis is continuing, that even the opposition is now, opposing this move, Prime Minister taking as charge of the acting president. So tomorrow we are hearing another meeting which has been called, and in that case we'll have to see whether there is a consensus between the ruling party and the opposition, that if opposition wants to be the part of the government, whether they will support in the name of the speaker as a president, and will LOP will be nominated as a Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. But in the meanwhile, what we heard, what we have seen today, as we speak, just 30 minutes ago, certain protesters also tried to storm the parliament area. There was also tear shells were fired to disrupt. In the meanwhile, the Bar Council of Sri Lanka, the IGP of Colombo, and several other, including the Chief of Defence Staff, have been appealing protesters to maintain calm and peace and be helpful to the law and order machinery to prevail calm and peace in the entire country. But the Prime Minister, the statement that came from the acting president, that perhaps anti-social elements is trying to overrun the government, to overpower the government, and that clearly seems to be the another trigger point, another flash point of the confrontation. What is happening here, you cannot predict what will happen in next 30 minutes. That is the level of uncertainty here in Colombo.